Good afternoon. You're welcome to this lecture series reaching you from Multimedia University, Cyberjaya, Malaysia. My name is Ujo Adidapo. With me also today are my colleagues, also from the same faculty, Faculty of Management. I am the program coordinator for the Masters of Business Administration. I would like to ask you, I hope everyone is keeping healthy. I want to encourage us. This situation is temporary and it will soon be over. So today we'll be sharing with you some insight on what we should do post COVID-19. I mean, Malaysia is quite fortunate. The situation has been well managed. And as we could see, the recovery of the economy. So without wasting your time, I would like to invite my colleagues to also introduce themselves. I start with Dr. Magis.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am Mageswari Dorasamy. I'm currently a Deputy Dean in Faculty of Management, Multimedia University, Cyberjaya. I hope you and family are all in good health. And so, me and my colleagues today will be with you today to take you through the reality of current situation, which is temporary, and even this shall pass, right? And we will see how we can prepare ourselves and be stronger, even stronger from previous. Yeah. Okay. So still stay tuned till the end of the session. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, and a very good afternoon. Those who are watching from MMU FB Live, I would like to welcome all of you for our series today. I am Dr. Junaina Mahdi, currently holding the position of a program coordinator of Executive MBA and also teaching a marketing subject at a Faculty of Management. Looking forward to talk more about MMU and what value that they can bring you later. Over to you, Dr. Ojo.
You know, as we stated in our advertising and promotional materials, the focus of today's section is on reshaping career post COVID-19. Currently, now in Malaysia, we are at the recovery stage, and I will quickly go through the issues that are uh, prevalent in the course of the COVID-19 outbreak, and also how Malaysia as a people and the government, how they've been able to weather through the storm and the implication of that for us as individuals. Likewise, we go through the positive side of COVID-19. It's not all about the negative things that we do see in the news. We're going to expose you to some of the positive side of it and what we could do in order to be more relevant in the future. Because the truth of it is that this situation is temporary. And from time to time, we've always gone through situations like this. So I'm going to start my presentation by taking you through the crisis implication of COVID-19. As at 14th July, the total cases globally is in excess of 12 million, close to 13 million, basically. And Malaysia has a very impressive recovery rate, which is up at about 97% as compared to the world average of 54% recovery rate. Also, in terms of death rate, Malaysia has one of the lowest in the world, which is about 1.4. If we look at it from the economic point of view, most of these are large economy. We discovered that they're going to contrast in this particular year. And if the situation continues to go this way, we could see the global economy contrasting to less than 1% in 2020. So in terms of Malaysia as a country, how has the country performed with regards to this pandemic? In terms of Malaysia, the likeliness of the economy contrasting by about 2% or growing by 5% has actually been made known to us from data obtained from Bank Nigara as well as the World Bank. And it's very much likely that the GDP from the industrial sector could actually drop to about 38 billion ringgit in 2020. Uh, the reality of this is in terms of its effects on the job sector. The service sector is the most affected sector. The drop in job in this sector ranges from 21.9% in the agricultural sector to about 15% in the food and beverage sector. The Malaysian government has done a lot, and currently we are at the fourth stage in terms of recovery. The restart stage commenced with the pre-hunting economic stimulus package, which is about 25 billion. This economic stimulus package is in addition to the earlier economic package of 20 billion ringgit. And the focus of this package is to ensure that the people are better equipped as well as the economy is restarted. So the government earmarked about 128 billion to protect the welfare of the rakyat and another 100 billion to support businesses. At the recovery stage, which started around June, then the Pajana plan was actually inaugurated, and the focus is to empower people. As we know, about 3,000 tax rebates will be given on child expenses. Another 50 million are focused on medical coverage for the B40. Uh, the most important thing that has affected most people is the free 1 gigabyte internet access from 8 to 6 p.m. on daily basis. That will be on the 31st of December. The government has done a lot also in terms of propelling business growth by providing 3 months wage subsidy, and also additional 450 million has actually been earmarked for the micro businesses. So the Malaysian government is really concerned about stimulating the economy. So we've talked about the role of the government. Now to individuals, how this COVID-19, how it has actually affected most people. One thing we know about situation like this is the level of uncertainty it has actually created. There is so much thing that we don't know. People are losing their jobs. The new normal is actually people having to work from home, people taking on temporary employment, and the challenges of trying to move from working, taking care of the home and doing other things has actually taken a toll on terms of health of people. So we could see changes in lifestyle and the challenges of having to stay in isolation. So all of these has created huge level of anxiety and stress among people. But nevertheless, I think we are actually doing a lot in order to cope with this. So given the level of uncertainty, the unemployment outlook for the first quarter of 2020, based on the data from the Social Security organization, reveals that about 42% of jobs have actually been lost in the first quarter. But like I said, there is also the positive twist to this situation of COVID-19. As we can see, the growth in the GDP for Malaysia in 2021 is going to pick up. So I think we should start preparing for the growth again in the economy. So this is the time for us to reskill. This is the time for us to refocus our energy to try to gain the relevant skills that will be needed when the economy kicks back by 2021. So it's going to be a temporary disruption. And the focus of today's series is to enable us to look at how COVID-19, how it does actually change the lookout for jobs, the lookout for skills. One thing we can take away from this situation is how the outbreak of this pandemic, how it has actually changed the way in which we work, the way in which we live. A recent studies from McKinsey reveals that the situation we have now has jump-started the adoption of businesses as well as businesses and consumers' digital technology by 5 years. Over 8 weeks period, what could take 8 years for the business and consumer sector to adopt as digital technology has been fast-tracked within the 5 years. And we know that the banking sector, more than 73% of banks globally, they've had to transition from remote sales to more like having their team on remote location, away from moving their sales team from moving their sales stream from the physical on-site location more to the remote location. UNESCO reveals that 1 in 9 students are actually affected by the disruption in classes. So today they've moved teaching and learning also online. In terms of work from home, because of this pandemic, we've seen a situation where people have to rely more on technology in order for them to stay engaged with their fellow workers in the office, as well as to do their job online. So, as we know, transitioning is quite challenging. Take an example of a pharmaceutical company that has to move more than 10,000 staff within 2 weeks period online. The challenge of doing that is quite massive. And research reveals to us that by 2030, more than 14% of the global workforce is going to be replaced. Replaced by who? Automation, artificial intelligence. These are things that are likely to take away the jobs. But the current situation has actually enabled us to see how we could integrate technology into how we work, into how we live, and as well as into how we study. So the positive side of it is that it has enabled us to actually be ready for the change that we are expecting. Recent studies by McKinsey reveals that only 87% of people, about 87% of executives do acknowledge the gap in skills. That is, the skills required for the job and what the employees do have. There is actually a lacking of about 87%. So this tells us that with this COVID-19, most people have been able to quickly adopt the skills that are needed for the future work. And as the CFO survey reveals to us, that most organizations are going to retain their remote position after the COVID-19. So this idea of working from home, this idea of technology-enabled work has come to stay. And it has actually enabled people to understand the need for them to be reskilled, the need for them to actually embrace learning. So this concept of lifelong digitized learning is actually the future that can enable us to reskill and to upskill. Organizations today, they are looking at people with the right digital competence. Digital competence has become essential because beyond the adoption of technology, the organization needs employees that can understand how this technology fits in within their business model, how they can actually engage with their extended business partners. So change has become the new normal. Change in the sense that nothing is certain again. And because of that, we as people, as employees, we need to actually have the essential social and emotional skills. These skills have become more important because technology will take over some of the things that we could do. So the next thing is for us to upskill ourselves to acquire the kind of skills that are difficult to automate. Skills like empathy, skills like trying to understand the challenges involved in people trying to actually do things in a different way. So resilience and adaptability will become very essential. The need to have the self-awareness, the need to have the confidence it takes in order to drive change in organization. More importantly, the cognitive ability, the critical thinking, which requires creativity and innovation. During the pandemic, a grocery store in Malaysia called Maidin, they actually reconceptualized the idea of shopping by creating a drive-through shopping experience. So customers can pick what they want online and they don't need to actually get the company to deliver to them. All they have to do is to drive in and what they've ordered online will be dropped into their car. So for organization to do this, they need people that have the cognitive skills to really understand the activities involved in their business delivery and to be able to reconceptualize that. So the future is all about being able to comprehend and to understand the relevance of technology within the context of the business. So these skills are essential for the future. And we in MMU, we have the right competence to actually enable employees to acquire these essential skills that can make them to stand out in the marketplace. So in the further presentation, my colleague will actually be taking you through what we need to do as we prepare for the future. Over to you, Dr. Magis.
Thank you, Dr. Ojo, to give us the brief information on the current situation. Okay, to me, I will now take you to the next level. How do we prepare to this storm, right? We call it storm basically because it has altered the way we live, the way we work, and every part of our life, right? So I kind of like this statement here saying staying positive in storm. All right. This is the statement taken from Robin Sharma, one of the greatest guru in leadership and management. All right. So, but how do we stay positive in storms, right? This COVID-19 has given us a lot of changes, right? So now we will think on a certain part of the world or people's life where things has gone very negative. For example, people lost their job, some have pay cut, and some have to live at home, be with the children and family, and yet perform job, right? That is not an easy task, right? So and on the other side, there are people who benefited from these storms per se, right? We have for example, gardenia was blooming in terms of their business. People were chasing gardenia truck, right? If you still remember, some of us wanted to get the braid and we chased the truck. Okay, whenever they come in the morning. And some of the other business that boom was in IT and video conferencing and many other. So there was positive and negative. However, if we are somewhere around where we are affected negatively, what we need to do is definitely to get prepared, right? And for that, what we can do is we don't panic, right? First thing is not to panic. Second thing is be prepared. Okay, so when we say don't panic, what it means, right? At this point, based on one of the prominent bankers review recently, that the economy is now bleeding, okay, in bleeding state. And however it will recover, right? And the recovery hope to be next year or so. So that is a good news to hear. However, at this point, what we can do is to take a break, right? Why? Because we don't have the remote control with us to stop the storm, okay, stop the effect of this COVID-19, or even any all these things that are happening with our career, or with our life, right? So since we don't have remote control on that, but we do have remote control on ourselves by clicking the no panic button, okay. That's the whole idea, no panic. And what we can do is we can now think about how to be more prepared, how to prepare ourselves in the next 3 months from now, or 5 months from now, or 6 months from now, something like that. But how do we get these ideas on being better, or improve ourselves while staying positive during these storms, right? So some of the point is that we probably need to take more rest at this point. Yeah, there's nothing much we can do, and take rest, as in, like, of course you can go chuti chuti Malaysia. All right, not overseas chuti chuti, in overseas, but you can go to Malaysia, where you can take rest. And when your mind is calm, you will start getting ideas, right? That's the whole idea, right? When you have the inner peace, the mind is calm, tranquil, all this setting, you will start getting ideas, and towards preparing ourselves to the recovery period, yeah, that is coming. So it is just like water, right? When the water is clear, you can see the below the water, right? Under the water, what is there lying, you can see. But if the water is keep on shaking, the you can't really see it. Okay, so, and then the preparedness part, how do we prepare, right? And so at this point, I would like to suggest that reading great books is one of the way to get prepared. Take MBA courses if you are haven't taken your master's level, and collect as much as data as you can on your interests, on whatever the interest is. Maybe you can start collecting some data, have conversation with great people. Good souls around us is always there, right? Yeah, that is one of the way. And the bottom line is, knowledge is power. This time is for us to add more knowledge, empower towards the knowledge strength. Yeah. Okay. And look at this purple cow, right? We all want to be the purple cow. Purple cow here is an outstanding person, all right, denotes an outstanding person. Aspire to that, to be that outstanding person, and by pursuing our dream. Okay, when you pass, for example, when you pass a cow farm regularly, no one actually stops and look at this cow, right? Everything is like normal. And now imagine, while you driving and pass this daily, one day you spot a purple cow, right? Will People will stop, definitely stop and look at this purple cow. Take notice and talk about it. Look at that purple cow. I saw one purple cow today, right? So that's the whole analogy with this purple cow. Meaning, what I would like to say is, let's be this purple cow. Be an outstanding person. All right. Through the no panic button, through the being more prepared in our life. Yeah. And what we want to say is, MMU can make you that, right? That purple cow. Okay. And next, I would like to take you to this Kung Fu Panda story, right? All of us have watched this movie, a wonderful movie. And there are many lessons from this movie, right? Which we can get inspired in this movie. For example, I remember this word, nothing is impossible, right? Nothing is impossible was frequently mentioned in this movie. Kung Fu Panda always been bullied, and as a noodle maker, he thinks he will just end up staying as a noodle maker. And the other hurdle that stops him was that he thinks he's oversized, and he can never be the dragon warrior. right? But he proved one thing: nobody is ordinary. It's just how we explore our talents. We all have talents in ourselves, but we just need a moment of silence to sit, contemplate, and think what is our talent. And by knowing our talent, prepare for to show this talent with some knowledge, additional knowledge, with additional education, qualification, all that. Yeah. So don't ignore that you are the ultimate source of power. All right. So what I'm trying to say is, at this point, when the storm is ongoing, or it is now showing the effect, it's time for us to look inwards and see the talent and give the ultimate source power. Okay. So at the end, you will see the windows of opportunity opening up. All right. And next to my guru, again, Robin Sharma said that choose to see the opportunity within the calamity. Right. So calamity basically means the difficulty that we are facing at this point is the COVID-19. And we are fortunate that in Malaysia things are far better than many other country, right? So now our our choice now is to see the opportunity. All right, I would like to share here a bit on my own story. I actually finished up degree, my bachelor degree in economics in the year of 1996. And shortly after, I was employed in a Singapore based telecommunication company. However, in 1998, 2 years after that, economy downturn happened. Yeah, the economy went terrible with the Asian financial crisis in 1997 onwards. Malaysian GDP was negative 7.4. That was really a difficult situation. Many company closed, and in fact, even the company that I was working also downsized. But fortunately, because I was doing multiple position and roles, I was retained with another staff who's a technical person. So both of us were retained and were asked to work from home. All right. So this is, I call this calamity, yes. But, I know that the difficult time is there, and upcoming is I might lose my job. So what I did was I quickly moved and took up a master's degree in 2001. And I must tell you now that that was the best decision that I made. Yeah. So that's what the expert also said at that point. During the low period, during the bleeding of economy period, what you should take up is an education qualification or program. So I finished my master's degree in 2005. Okay, in 2005. And what I gained from there is leadership skills, a lot of leadership skills, that made me a person who is able to now stand up and talk, stand up and lead a team. All right. And I'm able to manage things in my organization. I really gain a lot of skills in that. And I'm able to withstand the challenges that came in my life as I was actually doing my master's, while working, right? 9 to 5, I was working as a lecturer, in an organization. And then I took up this class in the evenings, and with a lot of extra assignments, work, and all that was coming along my life. And for your information, during my 2.5 year of master's time, I also gave birth to two babies. Okay. So I have actually graduated with double degree. Yeah? I have small babies with me. And I must tell you that that master's degree actually gave me all these skills, right? I'm thankful to the decision that I made at that point. What I want to say is, when you actually think clearly and gain this professional knowledge and all that, you are actually seeking the opening up your window of opportunity, yeah, and withstand the calamity. All right, so next, that I would like to take you to the second habit of the 7 habits of highly effective people. I think many of you, most of you have read this book by Stephen Covey. This is one a habit that stuck in my mind. It's called begin with an in mind. I would like to highlight this, that this is wonderful word that all of you should in fact, all the habits are powerful, yeah. This one powerful habit stayed with me until today, right? And what happens is this highlights to us to take steps for clearer destination. What's our destination 5 years from now? All right, where will I want to be? Okay, when the economy is recovering, when the world is recovering, I should be in the right place, in the right organization. That should be the mindset. Yeah. So, for example, if I want to quote, this is Michael Jordan, right? He a basketball genius. All of you know about this. Okay, what he did was to be this genius. He focused on he was really focused on what he wanted to do. His destination was very clear, and he had daily improvement. All right, daily work on this, and he has allocated time on that as well. Okay, another example, Pablo Picasso, a legendary artist, 30 years of experience to do one masterpiece in 30 seconds. So he had his own practice and time focus to improve himself. So it is the lesson from here is time for us to think where we want to be, the destination, begin with an in mind, and give a period, let's say you say 5 years, and work from now, right? What we want to do. So know what you are good in, focus, right? And be that genius that you always want to be. To achieve all these, all right, pick up choose a program that you can uplift your professional level. And the other thing that I would like to highlight is, do not, okay, do not for a shortcut, choose any bogus degree. Okay, there are plenty in the market, but my advice to you is, don't ever compromise on values are the most things in career and in our life. Yeah. So and tell yourself no cheating. Okay, no cheating ourselves. All right, it is like, if the degree, if you if any one of us get the degree, just like by paying the money and no class, no assignment, and the degree is there. All right, guarantee degree. And what will happen is you may get the treasure box, but without anything inside it. It's an empty box. What are you going to do with the empty box, right? All right, no point. The treasure is within that journey, that 2.5 year that the masters that I have completed, that gave me the strength, the all the relevant skills that I needed to survive today. I am I'm the walking example to tell you that that master's level will take you to a different level of training and experience, that you will withstand and be ready for the career, future career. Yeah. Okay. So now let's see the how we can master ourselves, right? And see, very commonly we say we don't have time, right? And why? Because we have work, we have family, we have, how to do study, how to take up study at this point. It's very hard. The work actually takes a lot of time. Now with working online at home, everyone complained and they say they have, actually working more now, right? But however, telling no time is as risky as saying the end of our life, death. Yeah, this is what Deepak Chopra said. No time is equivalent to death. Only at the death, all right, at the point of death, we will not have any more time. No more 24 hours for us. All right, time is no more moving. Okay, so let's stop saying no time, right? This is not good, because we don't want to attract any death or any of that negative things in our life, right? Let's move on to the law of attraction, which where we say, if we say I have time, I can find time to study, I can find time to read great books, meet great people. And so this is about thinking abundance, right? The universe now will give us more time to accomplish all this will come in reality. Yeah, so that's law of attraction, and I'm referring to the book The Secret, if you have read. Okay, so look into mastering our own self in the habit 7. All right, and the same 7 habits of most effective people. The seventh habit was sharpen the saw. That is what I'm referring to, mastering ourselves. So work and study is very possible. I have done it with family, with newborn babies, with in-laws at home, and all are possible. Okay, so why do we need to master? Think for the greater good, right? For example, when we want to take up MBA, for example, or even do PhD, we don't really do this because we want to get do not move on this way by saying I want to increase salary, I want to buy car, for example, those kind of things, right? Instead of thinking ourselves, let's think for greater good. I want to do yeah, improve my level now. I want to improve my life, my education now, for the greater good of people around me, of society, of my nation. Feel that you can now serve others. All right, so when you're talking about others, when you're talking about people beyond you, all right, now you are speaking the language of universe, and the universe now listen it and will bring it to you and make this happen, right? So and believe that it work, it is all possible. Yeah. And so now we'll move on to how, studying again. Oh no, I've finished my degree and I don't want to study again. Yes, that was all the mindset for once you finish degree, and then you say no, no, no more, I want to work and start gaining income and all that. Yes, for a period you work, and then you should study again. All right, for why? Because you don't stop yourself, getting new clothes, for example, new car, or upgrade yourself with new phone, for example. So we don't stop even studying as well, right? We need to upgrade ourselves, enrich our knowledge. All that is lifelong process, right? We don't stop learning. Yeah, I felt like when I finished my bachelor degree, that's what I was thinking. And especially when the downturn hit in 1998, I felt like, oh, it's my time to study. So there I saw the opportunity, right, that came in my way. Okay, and before I close, I would like to share with you my own story of why I actually pursue my education and what's my inspiration. All right, some of you might have seen this newspaper write up that was published in 13 March 2020, where I shared about how my mother, all right, is still an inspiration and motivator for my education. All right, and the person behind my education is my mother. Allow me to share a bit of this information to you. My mom, actually, I grew up seeing my mom, being sharing with us that she was not able to study. She was really wanting to study. However, at that point, the society was not conducive, was not encouraging girls to study. So she went for 1 month school, as in standard one, and she was stopped from there. And thereafter she cried, and she did all the thing, and she was not able to continue to study. Okay, so when she have all of us as children, she keep telling us this story that she was not given the opportunity to study, and she encouraged all of us siblings, or we are 9 of us in the family. My mom as a rubber tapper, my father as a lorry driver, worked very hard for all of us to study. And in my case, personally, my mom always tell that, you know a person without education is a blind person. And she keep telling that I'm a blind person. If I have studied, I would be a lawyer, and defend all this injustice in the world, right? That was her, the saying that she will always say to me. All right, so when I actually pursued my masters, she will be with me all the time during my studies difficulties. In fact, I remember during my assignment time, she would feed me, stand up and feed me, while I still work on my laptops and on my assignments. So and then I did my PhD in 2013. I completed it, and for my mom, it was such a great achievement, that something that she didn't she was not given the opportunity, but it was all achieved through me. Yeah, okay. And so every day when I call, right, to and speak to my mom, at the end, before putting down the phone, she will say, "I love you, Dr. Mageswari, PhD number one." Okay. And why this number one? Because for her, I'm the first person to, that she heard doing PhD, and as for a girl, and she feels so proud of it. And this education is something that, that she aspired from small. All right. Why I share this to you is that I'm sure you too have someone in your life that inspires you to further your studies. Make sure that you move on. Do not stop until you achieve the highest education as possible. Yeah. Okay, so to recap from my side, be the purple cow that I highlighted to you. Be that outstanding person, and begin with an in mind. Have a clear destination, and be prepared for that. Develop the multi skills that you may have. Stop saying I don't have time. Find the time, attract the time. And MBA at MMU is one of the option for you to be that purple cow. All right, and believe that knowledge is power. Right. With that, there is no such thing as average human being. If you have a normal brain, you are superior. That's what Ben Carson said. Yeah. So I would like to tell that all of us can do it, and withstand this storm. And let's do that depth, right, to show that we are stronger than the storm. Right. With that, thank you very much. I and Over to the next speaker.
Hello. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Magiswari. Very inspiring. And also, thank you very much to Dr. Ojo for your explanation about global pandemic and the risk and challenges. All right. Now, you may realize that it is very crucial to stay relevant, yeah, and being different in this very challenging situation. So, best way to deal with this is to reskill and also upskill your potential, yeah, and knowledge with education. So this is very important. And talking about education, in MMU, we can help you with it. So I will share with you two valuable programs, namely MBA and Executive MBA. Yeah. All right. So if you look at the slide here, so we have Master of Business Administration and Executive Master of Business Administration. Now, this slide is comparing the choice for you to choose. All right. So we have MBA and Executive MBA in comparison here. So now look at the type of study. So both MBA and Executive MBA offers coursework basis. It's just that Executive MBA is based on online and distance learning. So meaning to say it is fully online. Yep. All right. Now, mode and duration of study for MBA and Executive MBA for full-time is the same. Full-time, the minimum duration is 1 year. So within a year, you can finish. Yeah. Same goes to Executive MBA. For part-time, the minimum time or duration is 2 years. Same goes to Executive MBA. Yeah. So that's the minimum. Whereas for maximum duration is 3 years for full-time and 5 years for part-time. All right. Now, what about the classes? Okay, now MBA for classes. For full-time, it will be held on weekdays, normally after working hour, and for part-time, normally over the weekends, yeah, on Sundays. So if you are okay to sacrifice your Sundays, then MBA is your choice, yeah. Whereas if you want to have a lot more engagement with your career probably, or your time with family, then Executive MBA is a fast track MBA where you can do it online, online and distance learning. It's fully online, so you don't have to come to the campus. For course structure, for MBA, it is 13 subjects, yeah, 12 subjects plus one final project. Whereas for Executive MBA, it's 10 subjects, which is 9 subjects plus one final project. Yeah. All right. So mind you, the differences between MBA and Executive MBA is that MBA offers specialization, whereas Executive MBA does not have any specialization because it is fast track MBA. Okay, now moving on to scholarship. Maybe you've been thinking, oh, whether funding is a big thing. So scholarship, we do offer scholarship by a postgraduate merit scholarship. This is available for MBA. Yeah, and also 3,000 special waiver for limited time offer only. Yeah. All right. So this is only this is very new for only year 2020 to encourage people to take MBA. So for Executive MBA, it is HRDF claimable. So company can send their staff to study Executive MBA or EMBA and claim from HRDF, yeah, Human Resource Development Fund. And it can also be covered based on EPF withdrawal assistance from account to EPF. Students can withdraw from the EPF itself. And also on top of that, we do have 1,000 special waiver. This is for limited time offer also for year 2020 only. Okay, talking about the intakes. MBA intakes will be on every February, June, and October. Yeah. So the next coming intake will be on in October, whereas for Executive MBA, it will be held or very much twice a year only, which is in May and also in November. So the next intake for Executive MBA would be in November. Okay, now talking about investment, whether is it worth it to invest for our Executive MBA. We have done the comparison with other universities. So the tuition fees for MBA and also Executive MBA are very competitive. Yeah. All right. Now, if you look at this slide, it says that MBA for 1 year study, this is fees, tuition fees, includes project fee, tuition fee, registration fee, and also resource fee. For local, it's 29,550, whereas for international students is 44,220. Mind you that for MBA, it does cover application for visa, yeah, for international students. Whereas for executive MBA, for local, it's only 19,000, whereas for international students is 21,000. So for international students, for executive MBA, they do not have to apply for visa. Yeah, there's no visa required because they can study from their home country. They do not have to come to Malaysia and study in the campus. It's fully online. All right. So the total fee shall increase by 1,000 for every additional year of study. So if you extend, remember that we are talking about the minimum and also maximum year. So if you extend a little bit within the maximum time, so you need to add another 1,000 ringgit Malaysia for every additional year. Okay, now entrance requirement for MBA and executive MBA. You can enter or you can enroll into our MBA and executive MBA based on three ways. The first one based on your bachelor degree. If you are holding a minimum CGPA of 2.5, then you can go straight and apply, yeah, from MMU degree or any institution recognized by the Senate. Yep. And second way, if you do not possess CGPA 2.5, meaning to say you do not, get into the bachelor degree of minimum 2.5, you must have the experience for at least 5 years working experience, yeah, on top of whatever. Let's say, for example, you get 2.3 CGPA, then you must have minimum 5 years working experience to enroll into our MBA program and also executive MBA. Now, so the third way to enroll into our MBA and executive MBA is through APEL. APEL stands for Accreditation of Prior Experiential Learning, yeah, APEL Level 7. So candidate can enroll into master's degree, MBA or executive MBA without a bachelor degree. For example, you have a diploma and you have been working for a number of years, and then you can straight enroll into MBA and executive MBA by applying into APEL Level 7. More information can be obtained from MQA website. Yeah. All right. So, but the main requirement for APEL Level 7 is that you must be above 30 years old. Yeah. Okay. Now, moving on to to the next slide. This is about English requirement. You can fulfill one of the following criteria. This is all minimum requirement. For TOEFL, the score would be 550, and then minimum score for that was paper-based. For internet-based is 80, yeah, 80. And then for IELTS, academic overall band score is 6, yeah, that's the minimum. And you took 111 English examination, so you must at least get credit. And then for MUET, for Malaysian students or candidates, they took MUET in the university, so they will get a band. Yeah, so the minimum MUET overall band is 4, so the higher the better. Okay, so any other equivalent qualification as determined by the Senate. All right, so let's say you don't have all this English requirement. No worries, you can still apply. We will, get you into the placement test, English placement test we call it. And it is actually an MMU English interview, so we set you for the test, all right? So no problem. So we will assess on your English proficiency. Now, okay, why MMU and why FOM? All right, I tell tell you why. Here is why. Okay. Next slide. We would love to share with all of you about our alumni. All right. So we have outstanding alumni. Okay. The first in the slide, you can see Miss Tan Hui Lin, Managing Director of Founder of 23. The nickname is Sherlyn. We call her Sherlyn. So Sherlyn is the founder of 23, and this is an omni-channel fashion brand for women. Yeah. So omni-channel means multi-channel. So there are offline and also online. Okay. And very successful. And then next we have Muhammad Nizam Abdul Razak, Managing Director or founder of Animonstar Studios in Berhad. All right. If your children or your baby sister or baby brother watch Boba Boy, then you know exactly. So this is the founder or creator of the Boba Boy animation series. All right. And remember in 2019, the Bobo Boy movie 2 managed to collect 27.7 million ringgit Malaysia within less than a month. Yeah, so it's very successful. Right, next we have Ghazali Abu Bakar, or the nickname Gus. Used to be a lecturer in MMU, yeah, and a founder of Media Hustler. So if you watch Police Evo, you know exactly who is the director. So Gus is the director. Okay, now moving on to Noor Helmi Nong Hazmi, CEO and also founder of IX Telecom Sdn Berhad. Okay, so for your information, Muhammad, Noor Helmi, yeah, he is actually the first founder of a global telco, and the service is now available in 200 countries. So it's very powerful and inspiring success story that we have with our alumni. All right, moving on to Datuk Dr. Nazri Khan, the president of MATA. MATA stands for Malaysian Association Technical Analyst, MATA, yeah, and also he is the vice president of Afing Huang Investment Bank right now. And if you happen to listen to the radio or even YouTube channel or television, you can hear that, you know, his motto, because he's been doing the investment workshop here and there, and there are many people who would love to learn how to, you know, do the trading, buy and sell shares, yeah, stock in the stock market. So he is the guru, and I still remember the motto. He said, "Tak handsome tak apa, janji kaya." So if you remember the motto, that's him, yeah. And moving on to our next alumni, Mr. Zamri Pawanchi, holding the Vice President Marketing and Communication at MMU. He is our own product, yeah. Used to be my classmate in MBA. We both doing MBA in MMU, so holding a very high position in a multinational company here. All right, vice president. All right, now moving on to Sharifah Sarah. Yeah, also prominent in banking industry. Yeah, head of strategic management, Maybank Islamic Banking Group. All right, and then moving on to Dr. Eddie Chong Siang Choi, Director of Accreditation Finance Accreditation Agency Malaysia. This agency is supported by Bank Negara and Securities Commission Malaysia. Yeah, used to get the President Award during our convocation ceremony. So it's really interesting. Okay, now moving on to expert resources. Why MBA and why Executive MBA at MMU? Because we do have expert resources. Yeah, we do have expert resources. We have IPS, Institute of Postgraduate Studies. These IPS coordinates the university-wide postgraduate courses, yeah, including the research field, PhD, studies and all, masters by research and things like that. So we do have expert here, and we do have Center for Innovation and Commercialization. So now, recently, this effort have been handled by three other units, which is the RMC, Research Management Center, and then Research Program and Collaboration, RPCC, as well as Technology Transfer Office. Yeah, and for The next one is Entrepreneurship Development Center. In MMU, we inculcate entrepreneurship environment. We always encourage our students to do or try something, dealing with entrepreneurship. So EDC, or Entrepreneurship Development Center, is helping them with series of trainings, workshop, throughout the year. In fact, they have all these events from time to time, and then give funding to students to set up their own spin-off and company. So this is very interesting. And next one, we have Digital Futures Research Institutes. We have about 8 research institutes here in MMU. We have digital expression, we have digital lifestyle, we have digital security, digital society, digital cities, digital connectivity, digital education, and also digital enterprise. So all this Digital Future Research Institute will handle all the related or relevant research areas, in particular to all these functions. Yeah. All right. Now, moving on to financial privileges. Okay, on top of what we have mentioned just now on the special waiver, we do offer discount, especially for MMU alumni. It's 20 plus 10%, which is 30%. Yeah, and then discount for TM Group employees and their children. This is special information for TM Group employees, and if you have children, so based on the number of service, the maximum you can get discount is up to 35%. Yeah, and also based on merit, yeah, about 25% to 50%. That's for financial privileges. Okay, now moving on to micro credential, which is really, really interesting, and this is the thing that I would say it's new thing that people are looking for. Micro credential is a process of earning a micro credential module. Yeah, it's like a mini degree when you but you do in a specific way, in a specific area. For example, you do a big data modules, for example. Yeah, and once you finish with this module, you will be given a badge. And this badge will add value to your career and also to your CV or resume, yeah, and will definitely give value to your company that you're working at. So you can collect all these badges with all specific areas, and then later on you can apply for credit transfer for that particular subject. So that's how micro credentials are working, yeah. Okay, so doing micro credentials is helping those with a time. If you do not have sufficient time, micro credentials will give you flexibility. Yeah, it's very flexible. You do it on your own pace. Whether you want to do one module or two modules, it's up to you. And on top of that, it's also easing your financial burden. For those who are having financial difficulties, then you may start doing a micro credentials. Okay, so MBA and Executive MBA are looking forward to meet up with you here. MBA will offer micro credentials modules very soon in October, yeah, for next intake. Okay, now last but not least, the digital learning. Okay, we have been talking about upskilling and reskilling just now. So it is time to upskilling, yeah, for those who are having a job. It's very important and crucial to secure your job. So you need to have upskilling a session or upskilling experience later on, because you want to stay relevant and you want to be different. Yeah. For those who are looking for new way of doing things, so this is the digital learning. Even in fact now during the pandemic, yeah, the global pandemic, you can see that the transition or the shift with our education system, all universities have been doing the digital learning, doing online, switch the lectures to online learning. So it's time for you to take up and equip yourself with all this digital learning. Yeah, and digital learning will also nurture or develop soft skills in any individual, and it nurtures great discipline, because when you do digital learning, you do online learning, somehow you have to depends on yourself. So somehow it will create or nurture the great discipline inside yourself, and also accountability. And on top of that, networking. Doing digital learning would give you would offer you a better networking, yeah, because it's borderless. Then you can see a lot of other participants who are seeking knowledge and potential everywhere across the globe. All right. This is my last slide. The commendable faculty. I have to inform, or I have to tell you, that we do have internationally diverse academics here in MMU. It's not only local, but we do have expatriate who are working as a lecturer here. For instance, we have Dr. Ojo. He's from South Africa. He did his PhD here and fell in love in MMU and continued and decided to serve MMU. You see, so, and we have also from India, from Vietnam, and any other countries to name with. All right, and next, industry experience. We have a very wide exposure with industry because we are working closely with industry. For instance, yesterday we invited a speaker from a banking industry, a very renowned speaker. He is Mr. John Wong. So he was telling about the new world order, after the global pandemic, what happened and things like that. So it's very interesting. We open it to our students so they can participate, and then they can engage with industry. Yeah, and world-class researchers. Yes, our MMU staff, our MMU researcher has been doing collaboration, with other world-class researcher all over the world. And for grant-sponsored research, we do receive a lot of grant-sponsored research from the government, from TM, Telekom Malaysia, our parent company, as well as any other companies. Last year alone, we collected 22.54 million ringgit Malaysia for our grant-sponsored research. Yep. Okay, now, excellent facilities and learning resources. We have comprehensive campus facility. Yeah. It's very massive. If you come to our campus, we have 3 campuses in Cyberjaya, in Malacca, and also in Johor at Iskandar Putri. Yeah, and we have 9 faculties. All right, 4 in Malacca, 4 in Cyberjaya, and 1 in Johor. So we have a top-notch facility, we call it. Yeah, and we have dedicated postgrad and labs and library. Our library, Siti Hasmah Digital Library, we have lots of resources, a few hundred thousands of online journals available for our students. And then we do have postgraduate student workshops from time to time. In fact, in the Faculty of Management, we have 2 colloquium in a year, and we support students and inculcate the research environment so that they can, progress better, over the time, and try to finish on time. Yeah. So this is our support for postgraduate students workshop, series of trainings, workshops all over the year. And then we have a data center, we have Bloomberg Terminal, and then we have Statistic Malaysia. Yeah, for example, Statistic Malaysia, Department of Statistics has allocated the data center here in MMU at the Faculty of Management. Yeah, so for our researcher. And also we have portals to international online databases. This is available 24/7. So that's a little bit about excellent facilities and learning resources. There are more actually, but I think that's it. So it's time now for you guys to reshape your future with us as well. Upskill now, join us at MMU. Okay, now,
Yes, I only have one, but I'm going to include one other question. Dr. Jun, do you have the list of subject for the EMBA? Somebody's asking about that.
Yes, I do.
So I will ask you that question then. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Another one I will ask is the difference between MBA and EMBA. Okay.
Okay, the difference between MBA and executive MBA. You want me to answer now?
Yes.
Okay. The difference between MBA and executive MBA, I have already mentioned just now. The main thing is that for MBA, it has specialization. For executive MBA, it does not have any specialization. And for executive MBA, it is a fast track MBA. Yeah. So it's fully online. You can finish earlier. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
for the next question, which is about the number of subjects. Yeah, there are 10 subjects of executive MBA. Yeah, and the subjects includes. I'm checking my. Okay. Okay, I will open the. Okay, I open my file. Wait a minute. Yep. Okay. So we have marketing innovation, we have managing human capital, and then we have management of strategy, business economics, business research methods, management of information system and IT governance, and then accounting and finance for managers. Yeah. And then two elective subjects where they can select from 5 elective subjects, and last but not least the final project. So altogether is 10.
Thank you, Dr. June.
You're welcome.
I have another question here with regards to the requirement for the MBA program. Somebody wants to know, is it possible for someone with a professional license certificate with more than 10 years experience to join the MBA program? I think this is possible through the Apple A and C.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you want to talk more about that, Dr. June?
No, for MBA, I think you can answer that, Dr. Ojo. For MBA, ask them to go to the MQA website for looking for Appel, and then they will get all the information over there. They have to apply, download the form, and so on.
Okay, yeah. So you clearly heard from Dr. June. For those with substantial experience in the industry, there is a route for you to join the MBA program. So through the MQA uh, Appel, which is recognition of your prior experiential learning, you can actually be considered is equivalent to a bachelor's degree. So that could
Right.
be considered as a requirement to join the MBA program. So it's possible. I think one other thing people will like to know is the flexibility of the MBA program. Is it actually done part-time or full-time? I mean, for those who are working. So actually, we have both options. If you are working, if you come for part-time MBA, it's going to be on weekends. But for full-time, the classes are quite flexible also. And moreover, our university is more like a multimedia university. So we have the blended platform wherein you could have some part in the classroom as well as via the internet, the online access. I think we don't have any question as of now. So let me check again whether we have more questions.
Okay. I think I saw one question from our viewer asking about whether they will write executive MBA and MBA on the certificate. Yeah. So if you are enrolling into MBA, so your certificate, your master's degree certificate will tell or will spell Master of Business Administration. Whereas if you go for Executive MBA, then your certificate will spell Executive MBA on your certificate. But the delivery will not be because the delivery is ODL, online distance learning. I received this question a lot, and no, it won't be stated there, on the degree that the delivery is ODL. No,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you very much for staying tuned and watching this live section to the end. As we have, highlighted in the course of our presentation, all hope is not lost with regards to the pandemic. There is a life after the pandemic. And the most important thing is for us to prepare for that future. We need to reskill because organization needs people that can support them in their digital transformation. With this pandemic, we could see the pace at which organization they've actually embraced and adopted technology. So it's time for us now to acquire the skills that can help organization to prosper. And also as individual, we can also take the opportunity to be entrepreneurs, which our program is structured to deliver. So
Mhm.
stay positive and stay good. We hope to hear from you soonest. Dr. Magis, you have something to say? Please go ahead.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today. It was really, I hope it has inspired you to upskill yourself, right? And just remember this Chinese proverb says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is today. All right. So we have done our studies, maybe degree and all that, but now it's time for us to upskill by taking up more programs, right? If you have not done MBA, you may want to take up one. If you have finished MBA or any other masters, you may want to go forward to PhD and be the next PhD number one, okay, for your family. All right. And I hope you be the purple cow, right, in the organization in any part of your life. I wish you all the best. Right. Thank you. And over to June.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I received one question just now that whether executive MBA can pursue PhD. Yes, the answer is yes. Yeah. So you can pursue a PhD. In fact, you can also pursue DBA. Yeah. DBA, Doctor of Business Administration. Okay, and just last word from me. I would like to thank to all viewers who watch our MMUFB live today, and I hope that you stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy wherever you are, and I look forward to wait for you and see you here in MMU. Thank you. Have a good day.